Good day, spectating the sun, everybody. The name's Blue Fang, and welcome to another one of my videos. I'm gonna rank my top 6 Pokemon. Yes, I'm stealing this from Sir Sario, because I think he missed out on the opportunity to make it 6. And the only reason I'm picking 6 instead of 5 is because in the Pokemon games, 6 is the maximum that you can have on you at a time. So essentially, it's like, hey, if I could have a team, here's what this team would be, all of my favorites. And yeah, let's get started with no, nope. Right. Let's move this over here. Number 6, Cryogonal. Yeah, I know it's a weird one, but it's a predatory snowflake according to its bio in the Pokemon. I like the goofy mustache that it has, and it kind of can shrink it up if it feels like shaving. It's a 1% encounter unless it's winter in Twist Mountain in the original game. But hey, if you do get it like I tend to do, it makes Irish/Drayden Gym a joke. Because remember, dragons are weak to ice and you need it. What I really like about this, though, is that ice is said to be this glass cannon type, weak to everything but itself, but it's also strong against a bunch of types, and Ice Beam is a powerful move. It's got good moves, but it's just a weak type, so you would expect all the ice types to be glass cannons, but they're all slow tanks. This one is a tank, but at least it's fast. At least this one can actively go before a lot of Pokemon. I also love the fact that Cryogonal is genderless but can learn Attract. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, after a lot of deliberation, Cryogonal was my number 6 pick. I guess an honorable mention goes out to Mudstale of Alola. That was another pick, but I ultimately ended up playing a game of Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and this is the one who won. The other 5 were locked in from the start. And speaking of which, number 5, Heracross. Heracross is just a solid Pokemon no matter what game it's in. Great stats early, does not evolve once. So those great stats that I'm talking about, it has for life. No offense, but Heracross has the best Mega Evolution out there. Yes, I'm serious. Over the likes of Mega Blaziken and over the likes of Mezexciton, especially Mega Blaziken. Blah, blah, blah. I like the subtle male and female changes. As you can see, see this one, you can kind of see how its horns split, whereas this one's like curved. I do prefer the anime colors. I like this darker navy blue color than this more grayed out bluish color. And I do question why Pinsir is its rival Pokemon. Like, you know how they're just 2 Pokemon that are always paired up. You can't have one without the other. Like Butterfree and Beedrill, you can't have one without the other. Caterpie or Weedle, like yeah. Apparently, this one's always paired up with Pinsir. I always thought that Scyther was Pinsir's rival. But nope, Scyther doesn't get a pair. This one got paired up with, so I thought that was weird. But nevertheless, that doesn't stop Heracross from being one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. And in case you're wondering, yes, this reason alone is why it got in the Pokemon Silver team. Number 4, Magnezone. Magnezone is a great tank aside from ground and fire types. I love the UFO design. To be honest, I was not a big fan of just the Magneton always felt like a middle evolution, and I never really liked that it was just more Magnezones attached. It's not like Doug Trio where it kind of adds to the mystery. It's just, oh, look at that. The Paldean form is all right. You know, I'm not the super huge fan of it, but I do kind of like how it's like hairs, not only like Rockstar ish, but they're also like kind of feel like you stuck it in a socket. Uh, I do like how the evolution method makes you explore the map to find an area that's like electrically charged to evolve it. But I don't like how this form strays from the shiny. Like you can see it over here. You see this and you see the shiny. All right, they made it gold and they dulled out the end magnet bits. All right, cool. Magneton, they did the same thing. Made it gold, dulled out the end. Magnezone, they literally just made this blue. Why didn't they make this gold like the rest? I mean, it's not nearly as egregious as something like Nidoqueen, because at least this is still like a cool color. But why didn't they make it gold like the rest so it's a straight line? Pokemon shinies I never get. But yeah, Magnezone's number 4. Coming in at number 3, these 3 are my favorite Pokemon above all others. And spoiler alert, if a Pokemon makes it in this video, just assume that if I ever get to, just assume that they're coming in a game, that I'm going to use them in a later Pokemon game, if I haven't already. And number 3 is Gliscor. Again, Gligar just needed this evolution and it looks cool. I do like the shiny, how they finally gave it like an appealing color combo. I like using this in particularly Sinnoh, take notes, and how this is a ground type. It's great, it's very good, but it's not Groudon broken. You can use like TM Earthquake on it early, but it's not super broken. Uh, Again, I like the evolution method. This time it's like level up with this item at night. So, more exploring the map and more than just level up to a certain level. This definitely reminds me of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. But under that, I had to ask, why is this thing not a ground poison type instead of a ground flying type? Like, I see how it's not. Like, I see this design and I get how it's not poison. I see how it's like ground type because I see the thing sticking there. But why is it not poison? It actively uses poison in the bio and it's not a poison type. Anyway, despite that, I still love this thing's design so much. I just, this is still an absolute GOAT for me. Coming in at number 2, this was my favorite Pokemon for a long time until I played a certain game. And that's Crobat. I completely forgot to put a third image, but you know what? Will work right. Let's get the biggest reason why. Na 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 Batman. I mean, seriously. This is another case. I tend to notice that I really like the Pokemon that got a final evolution when their previous final evolution just looks so much like a middle Evo, and that's Golbat. My favorite non-starter, as I said, Poison Flying is such a great type-resistant combo. Resistant combo. It's very few things that it doesn't outright resist. This thing, despite being introduced so early, is still like some of the top 5 fastest Pokemon. You have this thing, and it's outspeeding almost everything. Like in Sinnoh games, especially, the only thing that can outspeed it is Groudon. It is number 2. It's super good. Although, again, only real criticism for it is that I kind of wish it forbade this purple and green to go with the blue and pink, but that's not that big an issue. This purple is still very cool, and I can live with it very much so. So yeah, Crobat's my number 2, and my number 1, if you know me to no surprise, it's Samurott. Let's get the biggest thing out of the way. Look at the cards. There's not a single bad member in this line. Oshawott so fucking adorable. They finally managed to strike the balance of cool and cute with Duat. Duat, like that's just so naturally perfect for Duat. And Samurott is just awesome no matter what. What? The Hisui form also looks very dope. Like, I gotta admit, I might be nostalgia biased for the original, but damn, Hisui know what they were doing. This is like a Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader parody of each other. Like, this is Luke and this is Vader. You can never go wrong with Samurai. Literally, you can't. Can't. Ask Star Wars. The entirety of the Jedi will tell you that samurais look cool. And of course, it's a Unova starter. Its competition is Sucky Wrestler Pig, who's firefighting for the 3rd time in a row, and Grass Snake, who sucks unless you pull out computer hack, lets you boot up an old website and hack it to make it viable with your game again to give it contrary. Water has always been my favorite type, and Water Dark not only helps to add to this Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker aesthetic, but it also reminds me of a certain other beloved Pokemon. Yeah, this thing got screwed by the thing that came after it, but you know what? Samurot's still very cool. And that concludes my picks for the top 6 favorites. Again, these are my own personal favorites, and I challenge you to do what I did to Sir Sario. Make a reply video to what he made. Make a reply video to this and what Sir Sario made, because I stole this from him. And tell me, what are your top 5 or top 6 Pokemon? Preferably do top 6 so we can all have our own ideal teams. But anyway, that's going to do it for this time. Should I get off my lazy butt, there should be a new episode of Pokemon Silver coming out tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to bid you all adieu, everybody. The name's Blue Fang. I bid you all a good rest of the center, everybody, and see y'all then. I really got to work on that outro.